iPhone cases have always been a must-have for smartphone users. Ever since smartphones started hitting the market, we've seen companies in the tech world trying to figure out what the best way is to protect these expensive devices. With each new iPhone release, we get fresh new designs and features that make us excited to show off these devices. However, some cases that are supposed to protect our phones are now creating some unexpected problems. Take MagSafe for instance. When Apple introduced MagSafe, it felt like a game changer for iPhone users. The idea was simple, a magnetic attachment system that allowed you to connect various accessories from chargers to wallets with ease. But there's a catch. If you don't have a case that's compatible with MagSafe, you're pretty much out of luck. The magnets on your phone would lose grip if there was a case in the way that didn't support the feature. I've always used a case to protect my phone, but the moment I realized that the case didn't support MagSafe, I felt like I was missing out on something crucial. Without the direct contact, accessories can just fall off. It's incredibly frustrating to have a wallet attachment that's supposed to be a convenience, only for it to slide off the phone at the most inconvenient moment. In my opinion, MagSafe as a feature ends up feeling pretty pointless for those of us who rely on cases. If you want to use MagSafe properly, you're going to have to shell out extra cash for a compatible case. So instead of enhancing the experience, it feels like Apple is just creating another layer of expense for their users. It raises a bigger question: why should we have to spend more money to get a feature that should work seamlessly with our devices? It seems like a missed opportunity, especially when we're trying to make our lives just a bit easier. Now, let's talk about the recent addition of the camera control button on the latest iPhone models. When this feature was unveiled, it sounded like a neat way to enhance the photography experience. However, it hasn't been smooth sailing. The button has already been plagued with issues, which is surprising given the hype around its launch. This camera control button is touch and pressure sensitive, meaning it reacts to the slightest touch. But what's the problem? Well, many cases just can't accommodate the design without sacrificing protection. You're often left with awkward cutouts that not only disturb the sleek design of the phone, but also expose the button to potential damage. It's like Apple designed this feature without considering the interaction it would have with most cases that people use. Honestly, I'm not even alone in questioning why this button was even added in the first place. While I appreciate the innovation, it seems like a classic case of form over function. Apple should really have thought more critically about how their design would affect users who prefer to keep their phones protected. With so many people using cases, it's a little baffling that they didn't take this into account. For those of us who use cases, the camera control button is more of a nuisance than a benefit. Instead of seamlessly integrating it into user experience, it creates new problems, and it undermines the convenience that it was designed to provide. Despite the frustrations with MagSafe and the camera control button, I still believe that cases are essential for many phone users, including myself. We all know that phones are beautiful pieces of technology, but they can also be very slippery. A good case provides that extra grip, making it easier to hold onto your device without the constant fear of it slipping from your hands. One of the most practical benefits of using a case is the ability to offset that annoying camera bump. If you lay your phone flat on a surface without a case, it's gonna rock back and forth, which is not only irritating, but it can also lead to scratches on the lens over time. A well-designed case evens things out, giving you a smooth surface to set your phone down without any wobbling. And let's not forget the peace of mind that comes with knowing that your phone is going to be protected against drops and scratches. Personally, I've had my share of close calls, and I can't even imagine going without a case. However, with each new iPhone iteration, the design seems to be getting sleeker, and the innovations are harder to showcase when they're hidden behind layers of plastic or silicone. The thrill of showing off your shiny new phone is going to be dulled when most of the features are concealed. And it really raises the question, are we really able to appreciate all the design changes and advancements when they're largely obscured by a case? As much as I love the extra protection, I can't help but feel that the case is sometimes more important than the phone itself. It's part of the device that we're physically interacting with and holding. In many ways, it defines a large part of our iPhone experience, allowing us to customize and stylize our phones in ways that standard designs just don't offer anymore. With yearly upgrades becoming less revolutionary, it's pretty evident that many of the new features on iPhones get obscured by the cases that we choose to use. It's ironic, because Apple rolls out these sleek designs with fresh materials like titanium and thinner bezels, But when we slap a case on it, all of those innovations disappear from your view. Take the iPhone 16 Pro for example. It has the thinnest bezels on any iPhone to date, pushing the screen closer to the edges of the phone for a more immersive experience. However, if you're trying to use a case with significant edge bumps, you could end up hindering touch navigation. Trying to interact with the edges of your phone can become a frustrating experience, especially when all you want to do is swipe or tap with ease. Instead of enhancing usability, bulky cases can create barriers that complicate user experience. In the era where smartphone designs are inching closer to perfection, we're faced with the dilemma. The few changes that come with each new model can often be overlooked simply because of how cases cover them up. The shiny new features that Apple is eager to showcase can easily get lost behind a mediocre case that just doesn't do justice to the phone's design. As a result, many users are left feeling disconnected from the very devices that they rely on daily. When the allure of the new iPhone is dulled by protective gear we wrap it in, it raises an important question. Are we really experiencing the latest advancements in smartphone tech if it's just going to be covered up by a case? Now let's talk about one significant change that's making cases feel a little bit more irrelevant. Increased durability in recent iPhones. Years ago, if you wanted to keep your phone from shattering into a million pieces after a drop, a case was practically non-negotiable. But with the latest iPhone models having tougher glass and enhanced materials, you can now get away with actually using your phone on a day-to-day basis without a case. This shift is both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, it's fantastic to know that your device is less prone to damage, allowing for a more carefree experience. You could whip out your phone without constantly having to worry about it slipping from your grip and taking a tumble. On the other hand, this newfound durability raises the question of whether we actually need cases anymore. This increased durability also sends mixed signals to consumers. On one hand, Apple markets their advancements as a reason to feel confident in using their phones without a case. Yet at the same time, they continue to innovate their case designs, pushing users towards official accessories to fully experience the device's potential. It feels like a clever strategy to entice people into spending more on an Apple-branded case, while also suggesting that cases are less necessary than before. So what's the solution to these mounting challenges with iPhone cases? It seems like Apple is making it harder for third-party manufacturers to create cases that truly compete with the iPhone experience. By designing their phones with specific features like MagSafe and the new camera control button, they're essentially nudging consumers towards buying Apple's own cases, which often comes at a hefty price tag. Apple's accessories are built perfectly to accommodate these features, ensuring that MagSafe accessories snap on securely and that the camera control button remains functional without awkward cutouts. But at what cost? Many consumers are reluctant to fork over the $50 or more for a simple case, especially when third-party options are typically much more affordable. The problem is that opting for a cheaper case can lead to a compromised experience where you miss out on the very features that make the iPhone special. This dilemma puts consumers in a tough spot. You might want to save the money and pick up a budget-friendly case, but then you're left with a product that doesn't work well with your phone's features. You could easily end up with a case that hinders the MagSafe functionality, causing accessories like wallets to fall off, or affecting the performance of the new camera control button. It's frustrating because many of these issues can only be addressed by Apple themselves. Unfortunately, this creates a cycle where case manufacturers are constantly reacting to Apple's decisions on design rather than innovating on their own. They can only work with the parameters Apple sets, which limits their ability to create truly unique solutions for users looking for alternatives. The reality for many users is that having a case is essential. It's not just about protecting the phone, it's also about maintaining a seamless user experience. If Apple wants to continue pushing their sleek design and innovative features, they need to consider how their choices impact case manufacturers and ultimately the customers. If they keep making it harder for third parties to succeed, they might find themselves cornering their own customers, forcing them to buy overpriced accessories that frankly they may not want or need. So what happens when you want an affordable case that doesn't compromise your iPhone experience? Unfortunately, this dilemma has become too familiar with many users. While Apple's official cases come with the promise of seamless integration and enhanced functionality, the hefty price tags leave many people feeling priced out of the market. Most people simply just don't want to spend much on a case, especially when third-party options are abundant and often marketed as budget-friendly. However, the reality is that many of these cheaper cases fail to account for the unique challenges posed by recent iPhone models. They may lack the proper cutouts for the camera control button or the magnetic alignment needed for MagSafe accessories, resulting in a frustrating user experience. Imagine this: you buy a cheap phone case from a well-known retailer thinking that it'll just do the job fine. You unbox your shiny new iPhone, excited to show it off, only to find that your wallet attachment falls off mid-use, or that the cutout around the camera control makes it nearly impossible to take decent photos using the button. These frustrations can lead to a negative perception of the iPhone itself, as many users might blame the device itself for the shortcomings of their cheap accessories. Apple's emphasis on sleek design and innovative features often leave little room for third-party manufacturers to create products that fully capture the essence of what makes the iPhone special. As a result, users may find themselves stuck in a cycle of purchasing cheap cases that end up hindering their experience rather than enhancing it. This creates a frustrating disconnect. You invest in a premium device, but if you pair it with a subpar case, then you risk undermining that investment. While it's tempting to go for the cheap solution, the best experience often comes with investing in a case that aligns with your iPhone's unique features and capabilities. At the end of the day, while cases are essential for most users, they often come with compromises that make us question whether they're doing more harm than good.